Hey, it's Monday morning, nice and early. I just sat down to edit the previous week's vlog and managed to delete all the footage. So, starting from scratch, nothing too important, just some cooking and some playing with dogs and some shopping. Bit of an update on the cafe. It was going really well. We launched a new menu on the weekend. I had my hand in half of it. Ran the kitchen on Saturday. It was a very busy shift. I had a great kitchen hand working with me. He definitely appreciates a lot of the new items and he's very passionate about working in the kitchen. The owner was very happy with us and he gave us a bottle of wine just to say thanks. What about you, Sophie?
The work's been good. Updates on the guys. So Alex, 60-year-old mixed lab, came down from Sydney with Alex's parents, and the first impression he got of little Duke was his eyes was like, "What are you doing here? What are you?"
Like, oh my god, no, now I gotta look after this little black one.
But straight away, Duke was just jumping on him. Sis is really gentle. There's only one really big bark that Zues went, "Arr." But then,
told him off once and that's all that was really necessary.
yeah, but then Duke just laid down because he...
Good morning, it's Saturday. I'm in the kitchen. I just put together some sweet pastry. So I just took 250 grams flour, 125 grams sugar, 125 grams butter, half a lemon zest, and I just breadcrumbed it in my hands to rub all the butter into the flour. Doesn't take too long if you continually work it. Then I just whisked up 1 egg, poured it into the mix, just lightly tossed it with my hands, careful not to overwork the flour. Once it all started to hold together, I just sort of brought it together with my hands in the middle of the bowl, or you can use the bench if you find it easier. Squish it down into a disc, makes for easy rolling later. Wrap it up and put it in the fridge half an hour. So it's been half an hour resting in the fridge, my dough. So I'm going to roll it out in order to line my tart tin. Rolling pin. So you can use 2 sheets of baking paper. Since this is one of my assessment items in a couple of weeks, we don't roll between baking paper. We use a thin dusting of flour on the bench. So a nice clean bench. I want to roll to about 5 millimeters thick. Now it's important not to add too much flour, otherwise you end up with a crunchy biscuit rather than a nice soft pastry. Obviously out of the fridge it's butter's set, the whole thing's quite hard. You can keep with you a nice thin knife blade or a large offset spatula. That'll help to take it off if it does stick to the bench and want to be annoying. You can see I'm constantly applying thin layers of flour to the bottom, but only a small amount. Even pressure, you keep spinning this thing around. I want big enough to be able to line this with a little bit extra, because obviously it goes up the sides. If there are cracks and things, this is okay, because we can always do some patchwork. Just keeping my round circle happening. Then I'm going to dock it and I'm going to stick it in the fridge to rest. What I usually do is 10 minutes in the freezer, but since I'm going out and baking it later, I can rest it in the fridge. Baking. To dock, I just grab a fork. You can use pie weights, but again, this is the way I'm doing it for the exam. which is a very traditional way. The holes make sure air can escape, you don't end up with any air bubbles. Now the thing might rise up during cooking, the base might rise up into the air. What you can do is take it out of the oven for a couple of minutes, let it settle back down and continue baking. We are docked, ready for resting. I'm here with Zeus and Dukester. There's little Duke. There's big Zeus. Say hi, Zeus. Say hi, buddy. Zeus, look. Ooh. So they're nice and excited for the morning. Actually, they're pretty chill right now. They're excited first thing, then they calm down a little bit. Just went to the shops, which is a couple-minute walk away, with Zeus. So he's had a little bit of a walk. Took the long way home. Dukester's just been hanging out downstairs, just waiting for me to get back so he can nibble on my fingers. He's a good little puppy.
Yeah. And I'm just getting ready. Going to, I think, my first baby shower this Sunday. The high tea at Mary Cake's. Should be good.
And I'm going to bring my scooter home from Sophie's parents' house, where it's been docked. Hey, show your outfit.
Yeah, I haven't gotten my shoes on yet. Getting my shoes on in parents' house.
Hey, this beautiful girl. So we're off out to Sophie's parents' house. I'm going to pick up my scooter and drive it home. Sophie's going to grab the shoes to complete her outfit, and then she's off to a baby shower. Her first baby shower.
It's for 2 hours. Yeah. Eat a lot of cakes in my belly.
So it's a high tea?
Yeah.
And you're going where?
It's called Mary's Cake in Brunswick.
Oh.
So I'll let you guys know how it goes. Should be beautiful.
And you guys will be staying with me. I'll be making my baked treats, practicing my fruit flan and my gemois sponge. Now the hardest part of the fruit flan was rolling out and lining that tart tin, at least for me. You guys saw me do it just then. It wasn't too tough, there's just a bit of patchwork involved. If you get it right, you get a nice shape, and as you pick it up, there's no patchwork as you fall down. What I think is I didn't quite bring the dough together well enough, and so as I was rolling it, it got a bit kind of dry and lots of cracks. So even though I was able to remedy it, I did spend a couple of extra minutes having to do that. So during the exam, I would have practiced enough to be able to roll it out, line it without any patchwork. But all is good. It just shows that it's you never have to just scrap it and start again. Oftentimes you can fix it. So yeah. All right, pastry cream for my fruit tart. So I've got some, I used almond milk. Normally you use regular milk with a bit of vanilla inside. I've heated that up just a little bit. It goes kind of steamy. It's like 65 degrees. You can heat it up more if you want, but I'm going to be adding it to my mix of egg yolk, sugar and corn flour. That's all mixed up and ready to go since I'm using it right now. Add me a little bit. Mix it up. And I can add the rest. So I'm going to add it now back onto the stove, and I'm going to keep whisking so that we don't get lumpy bits as the corn flour thickens up the mixture. So, return this to the stove. It's hard to do with one hand, especially with a dangly camera string. So the way I was taught, right now it's dull in color and it's very thick. Once the mix is cooked enough, it gets a little shiny and it also loosens up a little bit. It's definitely looking nice and glossy. Just let it loosen up a little bit. I'm going to turn it off. So I've got 35 grams of butter. So this is for taste and also for texture, because one of the qualities of butter is that it melts in your mouth. So what will happen is, as you take a mouthful, you'll get a beautiful melt in your mouth texture from the pastry cream. It doesn't take long for the butter to melt through. Yummy. So you want it wrapped nice and tight so there's no air, otherwise you'll get dry bits of pastry cream, which means you'll get lumps, which sucks. If you do get lumps, you can pass it through a sieve of some kind. But it's much easier just to make sure there's no air trapped. There we have our pastry cream wrapped and ready for the fridge. So I'm going to blind bake my tart now. I put it for the last couple of minutes just in the freezer, just to get it nice and hard. Looks like the oven's heated up enough. So I'm gonna bake it now, 180. I think last time it took about 20 minutes. Okay, I'm back. I've been quite busy. I've got a baked tart shell, some cooled pastry cream. It's been in the fridge, I guess, like just over an hour. It's pretty cool. Cut my fruit, kiwi, strawberries, blueberries. I'm gonna find a suitably sized ring to shape the kiwi and take off the skin. Gonna rebeat the pastry. So I just decorated my fruit tart and took my gemois sponge out of the oven. It's looking good. I made a 1.5 times recipe because I didn't have a small 24 centimeter ring. I only had a big, 28 centimeter springform pan. So there's my fruit tart. kiwi strawberry blueberry with pastry cream underneath. A bit of leftover pastry cream. And my genoise sponge had quite a nice rise. I'm gonna slice it down the center and fill it with chantilly cream and jam, and decorate the top with some rosettes. Now, I'm not very good at piping, which is why I'm sort of practicing today. I find it difficult to be confident with it because I've only just started doing it in the last couple of weeks. So I'm gonna need to get better at it, especially for my eclairs, which is an exam item, along with the fruit flan. Fruit flan I've practiced twice at home now, and I got it pretty much perfect in class, so not too worried about it. Just the lining of the tart tin I need to get a bit better at. And look who's come to say hello. It's Little Duke. Who's that, Little Duke? Who's that over there? I think he's scouting around for food, seeing if I've dropped any bits, but I've worked pretty clean this morning, so there's nothing on the floor for him to eat. We've since moved the bin. He used to be able to get into the bin and he would eat anything, including cling wrap. So we never made that mistake again. He is definitely getting heavy. I'd guess he's about 10 kilos at the moment. He's just over 3 months old. I think he turned 14 weeks yesterday. He's such a good pup. He's not fully toilet trained yet, but he's getting there. He's playing with Zues all the time, and Zues is playing back now, so it's very nice to see these guys together fighting, playing. And he definitely loves being handled. He always calms right down as soon as you pick him up or put him on your lap or something. Something funny he's been doing lately is jumping from the floor to the chairs and from the chairs to the dining table. So we've sort of been keeping the chairs tucked in, otherwise he just hops right up onto the chairs and then onto the table like a cat. Hey, so I finished all my baked goods. My fruit tart and my genoise sponge decorated, both in the fridge. I had a bit of extra time this morning, so I'm making some dal for today and probably 2 or 3 meals during the week. I make dal all the time, at least once a week. Today I'm making a big batch, bear that in mind. If you're making just for 2 people, 1 meal, you'll probably want to make like a quarter of what I'm making today. Pressure cooker, 2.5 times the amount of water. So I did 4 cups of red lentils, whole lentils. I cooked them low pressure, 5 minutes. They're almost done, it's about to beep. Tablespoon cumin, tablespoon mustard seeds, 4 bay leaves, 8 dried chilies, 4 pinches asafoetida. I got about half a cup of ginger and about half a cup of chopped red and green chilies underneath. 1 can of tomatoes. Normally I'd use probably 2 or 3 for this quantity. 1 can of tomatoes, with it 2 teaspoons of salt and 2 teaspoons sugar. So with that, 2.5 times the amount of water. For each cup, use half a teaspoon salt, half a teaspoon turmeric. I got a little bit of stock. Usually I'd use coriander, about half a cup. I'm using thyme because I don't have coriander. And then some garam masala and amchur, which is dried mango powder, to finish. Now my 160 grams of butter has stopped sizzling, so all the water's cooked out of it. And now it's heating up. I want it nice and hot, so when I add my seeds, they're going to crackle right away and the flavor's going to release into the butter. So that's pretty much ready. So I'm going to add my seeds, which is the cumin, mustard, along with the asafoetida, the dried chili, and the bay leaf. It's going to crackle right away. Jesus. So, because that's nice and crackling, I can add my other stuff. My ginger and red chili, green chili.
Now you only want to cook this for a good sort of 20 seconds, otherwise it will start to burn. Then I'm going to add my tomato with the salt and sugar. It's going nuts in there. I'm going to turn it down just a bit and I'll add my stock. So this is going to cook down at a simmer for about 4 to 5 minutes, and it will turn into a nice sort of slightly thicker sauce. And I'm going to add this to the pressure cooked lentils, and it's pretty much as simple as that. I just need to add my herbs when that's done, and also my powdered spice to finish, the garam masala and the amchur. Now this, we can release the pressure. So keep your hand away from the vents. What I like to do is grab something heavy. This candle holster will do thing. And just make sure it balances. Like me candle weight has done its job. I can take the lid off, and it's only been 5 minutes of low pressure, but these lentils are already very much cooked. So looks like the amount of water in there is good as well. So when I add my sauce, it'll be a nice consistency. Because that's done, and then this is done, and then you add them together and the dal's done. So I hope you enjoyed watching my little dal preparation video. So I've just added the sauce mix and a little more water because it was quite thick. Now this is some beautiful dal. I just tasted it, it's so yum. So I'll probably end up having like 2 bowls of it once the rice is ready. Just put on some rice. We use this Tiger brand rice cooker, it's the best. You can leave it on, it will keep the rice above 85. Nice and safe. And you can eat some whenever you like. So I think I'm done for cooking for today, at least for this morning. So I've got heaps of dessert, heaps of dal, and looking forward to eating it. Okay, so that was the vlog number 6. Definitely thank you for watching, and apologies it took us a couple of weeks to get the video up. I'm definitely looking forward to recording this week for next week's vlog on time, and thanks for staying with us.